Hi everyone, this is Professor Mohammed Moin, and today we are recording for our YouTube channel, and we have got Dr. Abdul Rafi. He's a graduate of Amiruddin Medical College of 2021, and I was fortunate to have trained him and worked with him, and he's a very pleasant personality. And today we want to ask him that he's moved over to Ireland for his training. He's gone to Navan in Ireland in orthopedics. We want to know how did you reach there? What was your planning here in Pakistan going to Ireland? Because there are two steps. One is to get the registration from the Irish Medical Council, and the other thing is to get the job in Ireland. And the third thing is the visa. All a very impossible thing, and all of them cancel each other. So let us know how you did this and how you got there very quickly.
So thank you very much. First of all, it's my honor to be with you and your podcast. I was lucky that I got an opportunity to get trained from teachers like you, and you provided an excellent platform and helped me. According to you, you say that you should be there at the right time at right place. So I tried to follow this advice, and it helped me eventually. So starting off, as I graduated in 2021 from Amiruddin Medical College, I took OET, which is equivalent to IELTS examination for the healthcare professionals. That is necessary as the first step during my house job, because this is the only thing for Irish Medical Council you can do during your house job is to get done with your English language exam. After at the end of my house job, I got a certificate, a house job certificate from our hospital, which I got then recognized from Pakistan Medical and Dental Council straight away. Where the very next day I applied for it because I was committed to get registration done at earliest possible convenience. Then the other thing was to get my UHS degree, which I remember quite clearly that you mentioned that if you want to go abroad, why you haven't got your degree yet. So I followed that advice, or then I went on and got a degree from UHS during my house job as well. So by having both PMDC certificate and the UHS degree and the results of OET with me, I was pretty clear that next step is to apply for the registration. But before registration, there is a step that is to get the recognition or the accreditation for your both degrees and house job PMDC certificate. So I made an online account on Epic portal, for which I paid around $320 in total, because this will help, I guess, to understand people, because they normally ask about the money that you require in order to get these things done. So $120 for the account and $100 each for each of your certificate to get accredited. And I still remember that you were the one who accreditized and give the takeoff for my UHS degree, because they normally ask your medical college dean to recognize or to ensure that this is the right person working with us. And then from PMDC certificate recognition or accreditation, I applied online on their portal. They take some small fee of around 5,000 rupees, and then they recognize you and give a let go that this is the right person from their perspective as well. So all in all, this process requires around a month or so, sometimes more, because these days PMDC is slightly taking a little bit longer time. But if you, and sometimes even some colleges take longer times to give you the right appreciation, or the give you the right accreditation, whatever you require from them. So it took me 1 month, and so in the meantime I was also preparing for my PLAB exam. So I took a moment in between to prepare for my exam, take my exam, and then carry on with applying for registration. Then I applied for registration online, which took around 450 euros, if I'm not wrong. And after that, and I was lucky, to be honest. All the people who are getting registration, they get it in around 8 months or 10 months. But I got registered with Medical Council of Ireland in less than 3 months, to be honest. And I was lucky because I got an email from one of their correspondents, and I just went after him. I kept on emailing him that I'm in a desperate need and I need to expedite this process. And you also mentioned that if you keep on emailing them, this will really help you in a longer run. So eventually, I got registered with them in the February of 2023. And the day I got registered, I started applying for the jobs. This is the second part that is you asked in the question, is the how to apply for the jobs. At that moment, I was started working as a resident in orthopedics department at Lahore General Hospital, Lahore. After passing my MD MS exam, I got inducted as a trainee. Before that, I was working as a medical officer at a private setup in Sialkot in Set City Hospital. So afterwards, then I realized that I will apply for every job, but I was more dedicated towards orthopedics and medicine because these are the two things that I'm looking forward to get eventually trained abroad. So I got one of the interviews. I eventually got two interviews, and then I got one. I got a job offer straight away from the first one. So it was my first interview. I was lucky that I got a job, and in April, they formulated whole process for me to make me ready to apply for the visa. For visa purpose, now the thing is that you require a work permit from them. This is the hospital that usually issues you with the help of their Department of Immigration. For visa, I applied it online by myself. I didn't take any help from any visa agents because I think they normally charge a lot of money. And in visa process, you just can apply if you are good enough. If you are a medical student or a doctor, you have this sense to apply for any kind of a visa by yourself, unless you are very busy and you don't have time to do these things. So I was not that busy and I don't have that much money at that point. So I applied it online. So and I took the steps. Basically, there are a lot of videos, and there is very one good website that helps you and guide you according to the step by step, which I can share with you. You can pin it in your post as well to look at the website because they help with the registration process, the job hunting, and also finally with that. Regarding and then eventually I reached in Ireland at the end of July and started my job as a senior house officer, which is equivalent to a medical officer in orthopedics at Navan Hospital, which was really wonderful for me, which helped me. Yeah.
Thank you, Rafe, for explaining all the three steps very nicely. Why did you choose Ireland? What is the band score in OET you need for Ireland compared to the UK? And where did you apply for the visa in Pakistan because you were living in Gujranwala at that time?
Yeah, sir. So starting off again for OET requirements, the bands that we require is B grade. It is same for UK, same for Ireland, and same for even Australian Medical Council, if I am not wrong, because they have a set standard that is equivalent to a 7.5 or a 7 in total aggregate of equivalent to IELTS, something like this. So this is the first answer of the question. The second part is that how did I apply for visa and where did I apply for visa? I was in Sialkot at that moment when I applied for visa. I applied it online on their website. Medical Council, the website for visa immigration for Ireland is a DFA website, which I can also send you a link. You can apply online once you have a work permit from them, and then you get similar like UK. You get the whole process is being done online. You pay the fees and you get papers for that. Then you need to book a biometric appointment where basically you go and submit your biometric appointment. For that, I went to Mirpur because there was no seats available in Lahore at that point. So I went for urgent seats at Mirpur and I applied it online. I submitted all documents and then they sent over my passport to Karachi, I guess, and from there they were waiting for an approval from Ireland because in Pakistan for UK they usually don't have to wait from Dubai or something else, but for Ireland I guess they wait from the clearance from Dubai after having an approval, so that's why they take a bit longer. But again, I was lucky; I got a visa in 3 weeks' time, or maybe 4 weeks' time, and then I went on there. Yeah.
And I think you also did your interviews for the job over there in Ireland in Navan online, I think. And what are the
Yeah,
strategies
yeah.
or message you want to give to the newer applicants, how you should manage that and how should you should schedule that? And what were the key points you thought when you gave the interview and when you actually went there, what were the points which you thought were the most important things?
If I can remember quite clearly that for me, I was like quite clear that I want to get a job, and it doesn't matter that which specialty job I am going to get. Because I was working as a resident trainee in orthopedics, I feel that this is one of the key steps for me to get an interview, because this is the first thing, because normally people face quite a hurdle in getting interviews at these particular times because of the ongoing interest of, and the saturation all across the world, because people from South Asian countries really want to move abroad to have a good out of their career. So what I did was that if you, I had a session with you, if you remember, at the end of my house job, where you counseled me, that if you want to go abroad, if you want to pick USA, that's the best thing. But if you don't want to pick USA, go to Ireland or UK and get into the training scheme eventually, because the purpose is not to waste the time, get the most use out of it. And then as I remember, at the start of my house job also, I started working on my CV, because you had one of the career sessions at the end of our final year where all the professors were there and who shared their journey, because you have already worked across whole UK and Ireland yourself. So everyone chipped in, I guess, for me, and I took the small bits. I searched online and started working on my CV. During my house job, I started working on publications. I got a participate. I was not a first, I didn't have the first hand experience in publication, but I eventually participated in. After my house job, I took the BLS and ALS courses from American Heart Association, because these are the two mandatory requirement courses for an Irish job, because they really prefer someone who know how to work in emergency situations. And the third thing was to do an audit, which I did in a private setup. And then the other thing was to get the teaching experience, because during house job, what we normally do, that we have our medical students coming to us, and our departments normally ask the house officers to organize presentation or give presentation to their colleagues. So everything we are doing, we don't get a documentation for that. So this was the first conversation I had with you, if you remember, and I said that I am working, and along with that, three of my other colleagues were also doing that. I guess majority of us do that during our house job, because it's a part of our curriculum that we have to train if you look at the PMDC guidelines. So some people recognize that this is the requirement. So they got an approval from their head of departments, like me did, and then eventually they get an approval from the dean, which was you at that time. So I guess that this was a really helpful for me in terms of my teaching exposure, which I carried on later, because this already helped. This then eventually helped me in organizing teaching sessions in Ireland. So it is the part of the CV that you need to really make stronger. And during that time of application, I was already done with my PLAB 1. I was at the time I was doing a PLAB 2. So this also gave me an edge, that I have already done a foreign exam, what I say, and I have already done an MDMS, which is equivalent to FCPS Part 1 exam. So this was showing that my dedication towards a particular specialty, or in general towards a medical officer job, because you need to make your CV good enough. And then the third thing I feel is, a lot of people say that if you have recommendation or someone from Ireland who can help you, because there is a culture in Pakistan, we call it like a sifarish, but here in UK or in Ireland and Western world, they call it as a recommendation. So if you have a recommendation from someone who is working there as a consultant, or even from back home, if someone can ask their colleague, if you have got an interview, that they should be prioritized. So I was lucky that there was one of my uncles who were at that time was a consultant in Northern Ireland. But once I got an interview, I guess he pushed for me as well, because to be honest, this is something that you really need. But I got other interviews and I got another job there as well. So I can't say that it was only based on recommendation, or was it based on CV and everything, or eventually it's the blessing of Allah, I must say, because I was in hard times financially at that point, and I discussed with you, if you remember, I came to you, and you were the one who helped me get a job in Pakistan as well. So I guess that you played a very crucial part in my journey in Pakistan. So I'm really thankful to you for that.
Thank you very much, Rafi. I think you gave a very comprehensive brief of what it is and how you got over there. I think I did my house job, after doing my house job in King Edward in 1993. I went to Ireland and I ended up in Waterford in 1995, and I was doing ophthalmology. You're very lucky that you got into directly a paid job, but we had to do supernumerary jobs or honorary jobs for 6 months at that time, and then get that connections with the people over there, the doctors over there, and then they would recommend and sort of keep you over there at that point. So I think the key message here is for all the new applicants or the graduates is that you need to plan ahead and you need to know where you are going. So you need to start off somewhere in your final year, make your plan. If you want to do the PLAB and go to Ireland or UK, then you need to give your PLAB, give your OET by the end of the thing, so that at the end, during that time, you also need to build on your CV. So he said you need audits is a big thing for UK and Ireland, research papers, even though you're a collaborating author with them. And then your ALS, a BLS, and all the other stuff which you did, that all helps you get into that thing. So as long as the people who, if you ask somebody to chip in for you, the main thing to remember over there, they'll always look at your papers as well. If your papers are similar, only then they will consider that. If you're below a certain standard, even if you have the best of advice from somebody or recommendation from someone, they will not keep you. So that is, I think, a very important session for our viewers. So thank you very much, Rafe, for joining us and being with us today. Thank you very much.
Yeah.